What up, though? And welcome back to Old School Hip Hop Head Rio Reacts. I also have another YouTube channel called Rio's Reactions, and on that YouTube channel, it's 99% old school golden era hip hop. So if you're ever in the mood to watch some old school hip hop reactions, all you have to do is go to the link that I'm going to put in the description of this video, and it'll take you directly to the homepage of Rio's Reactions. All right, man. So today's reaction is a subscriber request. Shout out to Ryan DeVos for this request. This is Elvis Presley, My Way, Aloha from Hawaii, live in Honolulu, 1973. So that makes this performance 50 years old this year. All right, man. So listen, let's get on our Marty McFly shit, jump our asses in the time machine, go back to Honolulu 1973 and see how the king of rock was giving it up. Let's go.
And now the end is near.
Oh no.
So I face the final curtain.
Oh man, I did not even put two and two together. I knew this was the My Way song, son. Like I should say the song made famous by Frank Sinatra. I don't know who originally made the song, who wrote the song, who performed the song first, but to me, this is a Frank Sinatra song. I've heard the Frank Sinatra version of this song 1,000 times throughout my life, son, whether it's movies, TV shows, retirement ceremonies, weddings, you name it, it's always the Frank Sinatra version of My Way. So, but yo, back in these times, singers perform the same song all the time, like all the singers. Like, I'm sure there's a Nat King Cole version of My Way. There's probably a Michael Jackson version of My Way. Going back and back, it's probably country versions. Kenny Rogers probably has a version of My Way. Everybody has a version of My Way. Enough talking. Before I move to get back into the performance, shout out to Elvis and his costume designers. Elvis always had the flyest stage performance wardrobe. You know what I mean? Him and Michael Jackson, they shit was always super fly. Michael Jackson stuff, suspect, mad different. But Elvis, yo, this looks like shit that you would imagine Elvis wearing. I can see Elvis wearing this like at the mall. You know what I'm saying? All right.
And now the end is near. So I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every byway, oh, and more, much more than this. I did it my way.
Yo, people always make fun of rappers and, talk negative about rappers and things like that, how they're ignorant about spending their money and all that kind of stuff. Yo, Elvis is one of the flyest motherfuckers in the history of the world, let alone entertainment. You know what I mean? But between Elvis and Liberace, I would love to see them just put all their jewels on and have like a contest. Yo, and from the hip hop world, we'll throw like Slick Rick in there. You know what I mean? Slick Rick and Gucci Mane. But Elvis was a fly motherfucker back in the 1970s, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, in this performance, he has several rings on that look like each one of them is worth like more than a house. You know what I mean? Shout out to Elvis and his jeweler and his stylist.
And every byway, oh, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. Oh, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way.
All right, man. Two things. First off, Elvis is sweating. Yo, Elvis is too cool to sweat, son. I didn't know Elvis sweat. Elvis is like the epitome of cool motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? He is like the real life version of Fonzie. Wow, that's good to see. But anyway, what I really stopped it for is to comment on Elvis' voice. Elvis singing live sounds like he's in a goddamn studio. This is unbelievable. Elvis's voice is crazy. Like it's so powerful, you know what I'm saying? Like I listen, I don't know shit about music, but it's got mad range. That's what I would call it. Like he's got the voice inflections, he's got like the baritone, like that deep shit. He goes high, like all within like the same verses, you know, the same lines. Yo, shout out to Elvis and his motherfucking natural ass talent. I think I may have said this before, son. Elvis probably was singing like this when he was 10 years old. Just like when you watch the Michael Jackson videos. And like he like 8 years old, he in that office, he performing for Berry Gordy and Diana Ross. And that motherfucker sound like Ray Charles. It was crazy. Because he was singing a Ray Charles song. And if you weren't looking, you'd be like, oh, like Ray Charles, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is he singing in such a high-pitched voice? But he sounded like Ray Charles, you know what I mean? So shout out to Elvis, son. This dude's voice is crazy. Like if he was alive today, he'd have, not only would he be a huge musical star, movie star, but like his advertisement, like TV commercials and voiceovers, like he'd be ridiculously rich. He already was, but anyway, man, let's get back to it.
I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, no, not me. I did it my way. Or what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the words he truly feels, and not the words the one who needs. The record shows I took the blows and
Oh man, I hate that they covered Elvis up. I wanted to see him like strike that pose at the end that he's famous for. I don't think he's famous for one particular one, but he kind of did like a similar pose a lot. All right, man, yo, so there it is, man. Elvis Presley, My Way, live, Honolulu, 1973. Man, Elvis is just impressive, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the natural talent is so obvious. I wish we could have saw like the crowd response because I bet he had them mesmerized, yo. And back in the day when you're doing songs like My Way and all these different popular songs that the singers would sing at their concerts and their shows and stuff like that, it seems like every show probably was like 2, 3 hours long. The concerts back in the day for these type of performers like a Frank Sinatra or Elvis, something like that, because it's not like artists today where you only can perform your songs and your hits and like even a good artist only has so many hits, but back then in the 60s, 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, like you can sing or perform whatever song was popular, and nobody looked down upon you for doing it. I mean, they just rock with you as a performer. So anyway, man, shout out to Elvis. Elvis is the king. Shout out to Liberace. He's the only dude I can see competing with Elvis on a fashion tip, especially when it comes to the jury. All right, man. On to the next one. I'm out.